Hello guys, and welcome back to Macadel Online Training. My name is Nita, your physical and online instructor. How have you guys been? So today I'm actually going to be teaching us how to make trousers from the IL Modellismo Italian pattern making. I taught us how to make a pattern for our basic bodies before now. So I'm actually making a jean for a client, and I thought I should share with you guys. So we're going to be making trousers, all right, from this book. Okay, so I'm going to put a picture of this measurement on your screen so you could try using this method to make your trousers. It's actually easy and comes out looking nice as well. Okay, so basically it's good to try to know what the trouser, everything you're going to make has to be in the middle. Okay, in as much as I'm going to make mine a bit different. I want to try to make it separately, but if you're going to follow the book, you're meant to make everything together, like so. So you're meant to make, like the back or on top of the front, and then you copy it out. But I don't want to make it like this. I'm going to make them separately because, like I said, I'm making it for a client, and I just felt I should use the opportunity and share how to make this with you guys. But you can do same. I'll show you how, and I'll show you how I'm making mine differently. And so first of all, what I try to do is create a top line here. All right. So I've kept 2 inches. Now, normally I keep 2 inches for the back because I extend the back for a plus size person 2 inches. For a normal size person, between 1 to 1.5 inches. Though we'll be working in cm, because the Italian patterns we use cm, as a measurement. Okay, so the line is my A to first of all is my A to B, which is for this client. I'm working with the size 40. Okay, almost that size 40. So my client is 18.2, which for the hip depth. So you're going to start by marking your hip depth. I've done that. You can use your tape measure or your ruler. Okay, so at times the tape measure can be different, just like so now. So if you're using a tape measure, stick to your tape measure. If you're using a ruler, stick to your ruler. All right, so I have my hip depth to be 18.2. I will mark, and then I have my crotch depth to be 24.5, and I will mark. Okay, so basically that is where I'm going to have my line. So I'm going to mark them across board because we're going to be drawing straight lines. So here I have 18.2 and here I have 24.5. Okay, so I'll turn that into a straight line. So first of all, I had made some marks here to know what space I want to keep. So I'll turn this first of all, and here is my point A. Okay, I hope you're seeing that. And then I'm going to extend this line. This is my crotch depth, and this is my hip depth. All right, so can you see that? So this is my crotch and this is my hip. All right, so this point, like I said earlier, so this is my B point here. So I'm going to write it on the inside. This is my A to B, which is my hip depth. All right, and then this is my A to C, which is my crotch depth. Okay, and I extended the lines this way. All right, hope you're seeing that clearly. Okay, so we'll move on. So the next thing the book says, that's A to B. That's the first thing on the book. I've done A to B and I've done A to C. Okay, so the next thing it says is, and we're dealing with the front, and is this a basic trousers? Don't forget basic trousers. So I'll write it here. This is our basic trousers. Okay, so the next thing it says is B to B1. All right, and this is B. Don't forget that B1 comes this way, and it says square left. Left is towards where I am sitting. All right, so it says square left 1/4 of hip circumference plus ease allowance. Now, most times, if you're working with the measurement from the book, you know, your basic standard measurements, then you have to add ease because you're not really sure about the measurement, you know, for the person you're working with. But if you're working with yourself, for yourself, or if you've taken measurement, then you don't need the ease, you know, because I mean, you would have taken your measurement with your one finger in, and that, you know, was your ease allowance. But if you don't have that, please add your ease. All right, so it says 1/4 of hip circumference, and the hip circumference I'm working with is 89. All right, so 89 divided by 4, I have 22.25. If you go back and watch my video on basic bodies, you will understand when you have decimal points what you're meant to do. I have 22.25. all right, and the 5 after 2 is more than 0, so I'll convert it to 1. So that means I'm going to be having 22.3. Okay, now you can also use your 22.2 if you don't have to, if you don't want to add any ease, you know, like that to it. Okay, so from here I would use, now my fabric is stretching, so I can decide to not add, you know, the 3. So I have 22.3, and I'll look for my 22.3. all right, and this is 3 here, so I mark it, and it says that that is B1. all right, so here I have my B1. I've written it down there. Okay, so the next thing it says C to C1, square left, same measurement as B to B1. So whatever you have here, B to B1, you're going to have the same thing at this point. Okay, so I'll place my tape again, and I'll take my 22.3. okay, and I'll call that my C1. all right, okay, so the next thing it says is C to C2. This is my C, don't forget, and it says C to C2. I'm coming out this way for C2, and it says 1/20 of hip circumference, then connect to B2, which is going to form your crotch front. Okay, so my hip is 89 divided by 20, and that is 4.45, which is approximately 4.5. right? So at this point, I will mark at 4.5. okay, and it says extend it. So I have extended it, and I'm going to call this my C2. Okay, so that's my C2 at that point. All right, so the next thing it says is D, to get D. All right, D is somewhere here, and it says half of C1 to C2. This is C2 here, this is C1 here, so you're going to measure it and divide it by 2. So I can place my already looking at it, I have 27, so that means you can divide whatever it is, or you can as well just bring your tape in to that point, or you can use your calculator, please, whatever works for you. Okay, so I'll mark it. Now what I have there is about 14. So let's divide it. Sorry, it's 13 and a half. Yeah, 13 and a half. Okay, so what I have here is 13 and a half. Okay, so you mark it. All right, so this point now is D. I've labeled it D. All right, so that is dividing your crotch, because this is your crotch. Please follow what I am saying. This is your crotch. All right, this is your hip depth, and up here is your waistline. All right, so having done this, I'm going to make sure that I have the same all the way. Okay, so I'll check what I have here from this my C line. I'm just trying to draw a straight line. Okay, so I have what I have here is 9 cm. All right, so you measure this part, and I'll take it up here as well and mark my 9 cm at this point. Okay, so you're meant to rule this line all the way down. I'm going to take it all the way down. Okay. So you have to take it to wherever your trouser length stops. So since I don't know where mine is stopping yet, I'll just put it there. All right, so that's D. So the next thing is E to D. E to D says square up from line C1 to C2. All right, so to get your point E, square up from line, okay, C1 to C2. This line C1 to C2, square up, which is what we have done. So what I have here now is my E. Do you understand that? This is your E. So the next thing is E to D1. All right, so we have E now, okay, and it says E to D1. That means we are going down. It says knee length, square down from the line C to C1. So this is still line C to C1, square down your knee length, was starting from E. All right, so the knee length for this person is 53.5. okay, so you check your own knee length measurement. Okay, I want you to see what I'm doing. So 53.5, and I will mark my dot here. Okay, and that is D1. All right, so I'll write here D1. Okay, so the next thing it says is E to F. So from E all the way to F is your trouser length. Okay, so at this point I'll take my trouser length measurements, and here is 99 cm. Don't forget I'm working in cm. Okay, so all what I'm doing here, just I'm going all the way to 99. I'll show you once I'm done. So I'm trying to mark where that stops. I'll mark it in two places so that I can draw a line. Okay, so having done that, I'll just draw a little line, not too much, because I don't want to have, you know, too much line until I'm sure of where I'm stopping. Okay, so I will extend this line to that point so I can mark. All right, have you seen that? So now I can mark my F. So this is where my F is. Okay, all right, so let's continue. So having done that, now the book says the next thing is your A to A1. All right, don't forget that A is here. This is A here. A1 is towards me. A to A1, your waist, that's a quarter of your waist circumference plus 3 cm. Now the 3 cm is if you're using dart. All right, I'm not working with dart for these trousers, but please, if you are working with dart, put in yours. Okay, so the waist measurement here is 71 divided by 4. I have 17.75, which is 17.8. Now if I'm meant to have a dot, I'm meant to add 3 inches. All right, sorry, 3 cm to that. So if you're using your dot, add to yours. I'm not working with any dot because it's a jean trousers, and I'm choosing not to. But I can actually do this as well and take it out, you know, when I'm doing whatever I'm doing. Okay, so maybe I'll just add that so I don't confuse you. So plus 3 cm. So So I have 20.75, so which is like 20.8. Okay, so 20.5, 20.6, 20.7, 20.8. Okay, so this is my A1, all right, and I've written it here. Okay, and the next thing it says is A1 to A2, square up 1 cm. So if this is A1, it's asking me to square up. I should just go up, okay, 1 cm, and I've done that, and I have marked. And it says, with the curve, join points A2, B1, C4, side seam. So this is your A2, this point that we came up, okay, your A2. So you have to join this to B1 to C1, all right. That is going to form your side seam. So don't forget that this is meant to be the same, so I can just draw this as a straight line, okay. And you can use your ruler here anyhow you want it. If you want to flip it this way, go ahead. So I actually just always use mine, you know. You can place it this way and draw it if you want. And you can also, I just feel this is a hip thing, you know, so my curve should be placed this way into my hip. But please, anyhow you want to do yours is fine, okay. Okay, so we now have the side seam. Okay, so the next thing is F1 to F2, and it says 22 cm, not a fixed measurement. Square out from each side of F using F as a midpoint. Okay, so in my own case, what do you do? Just take your ankle measurement at this point. Don't follow the 22 cm. Take your own measurement, okay? You know, this is a basic trouser, so you do the normal first, and then you can now design it anyhow you choose to. So here I'm going to be working with I'll be working with 30 cm for the round ankle, all right. So 30 divided by 2, I have 15. Okay, so I'm going to square out on both sides 7.5 each to give me 15. Okay, that's 15 divided by 2. All right, so here I have 7.5 and here I have 15. Okay, so I'm dividing it, so I have the whole 15 here and the other side is 15. That gives me the 30 for the round. So this is why I didn't draw my line too much, because I just wanted to be sure where it will stop. Okay, so that is F to F. So this is our F2 and this is F1. Have you seen that? So the next thing it says is D2 to D3. This is D1, so D2 to D3. Knee width, same measurement as F1 to F2 plus 2 cm. But please take your round knee measurement. You don't really have to use theirs, okay? But most times when you do the calculation, you will see that it's actually the same thing, okay? So the round knee measurement here is, my client tone is 35, okay? It's 35, so I will divide that into 2. But if I'm going to work with this, remember here we had 30. So if we had 15 here, that means the round knee measurement I'm meant to use is just adding 2 cm plus this. So that would have been 17. Okay, then I'll just share my 17. I'll just share my 17 out properly. So that would have been, so if I was using their method, I'll be having 17, so I'll be having here, right? That's what I'll have. But then I want to use, like, check, let me confirm it to my client's knee. Okay, so the knee is 14, which is about 35 cm. Okay, So that 35 cm, if I divide it, I'm having about 17 and a half. So it's just a bit different, okay? And this bit difference can make a lot of difference. So that's why I said use your own measurement, not the book, okay? So here I have 8.6. 17. Okay, so that's my own measurement, okay? So at that point, you're going to place your ruler and have a straight line here. Okay. So now, here you're going to have your D2, and here you're going to have your D3 and D2. So now we are done with that, and the book says, sorry, I have to move this around, and it now says that you're going to join the inseam and the outseam. So that means you're squaring out from, you know, all the sides. So here most times I use a curve, but if you want to use a straight ruler, it's also fine. So this is what I do in mine at this point. Okay, I'm just okay with this, but you can also work with a straight rule. So I'm just joining everything together. This is this. Okay. So that's just what I did. It's as easy as that. And we're actually almost done with the front. So what I didn't do initially was to put a curve here. We're supposed to have done a curve, you know, at this point. It said when we did the B to B1, the next thing was B to B2, which square out 0.5, square right. Right is towards you, all right? So 0.5, I'll place my tape at B and then mark 0.5, okay? And the next thing you're meant to do is join to point A, okay? So you're just meant to join it, try and place your curve, and if you can't get a total you know, like curve, look at what your book says and just try to create. This is what I do. I'm creating this to this first. Have you seen that? I created this to this, then I'll try to create this to this, because most times your ruler may not allow you to do everything at once, so you can take it in sections. All right, so that's it. So I've created that. All right, so the curve is ready. So the next thing, the final thing here is your dart, and it says E to E1, move down 10 cm. So from E, this is your point E, come down 10 cm, and I'll mark, okay? And that is my E1. And to each side, remember that you had put in allowance for darts, all right? So it says on either side, E2 to E3, move from each side 1 cm, you know, out. So this is it, I'm moving out. But some people tell me I had put in 3, you know, why am I taking out 1? But most times they also take it out at the back. So I'm taking this out 1 cm and 1 cm. And you can as well take out your 1.5 cm that you had put in as well, so it doesn't confuse you. Okay? All these things are basics. When you're done, you do whatever you want with it. Okay? So our front trouser is ready. Now the next thing we are meant to do is actually to draft the back over this, but like I said, because I'm making this, you know, for a client and I don't want to go back and forth, I'm going to be drafting the back separately. So what I'm going to do is to copy this to the back, and then I'll show you how to draft the back.